Yeah, this is my statistics. When I was 14, I was able to push 3 plates on my chest. I was able to push 70s on my shoulders. I was able to bicep curl 45s, maybe 50 is the highest, right? Maybe 45s was the highest, I'm not sure. I know I could do push-ups easy. I could do 60 to 120 push-ups easy. That was when I was 19. I worked on the push-ups a little bit. Every day I'd work on the push-ups. But my head would go insane. Like I'd be so angry. Every day I'd be so angry. Like blood's just coming out my throat and going down my throat, blood. It didn't make any sense to me. I don't know why. Because everybody would use my voice, and then your bone structure gets all shape-shifted, and your fucking blood starts coming out your throat and stuff. See, when I twist my head, I always have to shape-shift my bone structure back to normal. And then same thing with my eyes. Like there's something in the way, so I have to scroll it back. And then from age 19, I was able to do 120 push-ups, easy. Like push-ups were easy, right? But I could do sets of maybe two sets of 100. No, that's being too cocky. I could maybe do one set of 120, and then I'd get to about 38 to 57 on the second set, and that's when I'd tire out. The second set, 38 to 57. So I could do maybe 120 plus 57. 7, 8, 9. 197. 197, maybe it was, no. I think I could do about 197. About 200 push-ups, right? 2 sets of 50, or 4 sets of 50. I could do that. 200 push-ups. I could easily do 200 push-ups. Maybe it was about 150 then. Maybe it was about 150. So about like 5 sets of 25s. Yeah, I think it was about there. I think it was about 5 sets of 25s. Yeah, so, and then when I reached age 24, I started running the block because I panicked about something. I panicked about a gun sale. I panicked about an AK-47 sale because I was a big George Bush fan, and George Bush was going to the war in the Middle East, and one of my buddies was selling AKs to some Muslim guy, and I was like, what the hell? What are you doing, buddy? That's not right. So then I started running really fast. Instead of jacking off for 2 years, from age 22 to 25, instead of jacking off, every day I felt like jacking off, I would go for a run. I'd go for a run around the block, and then I'd go for a run around Bear Creek Park, and I'd run like 10, 12 laps, and I'd come back. And that's how I built my endurance up. And I was at my best. I worked up my from 2.2 kilometer to 6.6, right? And then I went and I did the policing, and this is when I did the policing and the military. I went and I passed the RCMP test. I passed it by 1 or 2 seconds, and I posted it on Instagram. Right, so I passed the RCMP test. So I could have been an RCMP at age 24. And then I applied for the military. I said, fuck this, this is war. Whoa. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. You know that black guy, that amazing black guy, Edwin the Star. And then I applied for the military. I wanted to go into intelligence, but they didn't accept me. At that time, the military was less too. It was like 2,000 people. Now it's like 400,000, right? And you get paid out $60,000. And they were using like 1970s weapons back then. Now they upgraded it to 2026. Thanks to Carney. And that was the best of my exercise. I did weights when I was young, and then I started doing cardio when I was old. When I was 25. I started running cardio, 6.6 kilometers in 25 minutes. 6.6 kilometers in 25 minutes. I still had to become a Marine. I still had 10 kilometers to do in 45 minutes. I was doing 6.6 in 24 actually. 6.6 in 24 minutes. And to become a Marine, you needed to have 10 kilometers in 45 minutes. So I had another 20 minutes to do 3.4 kilometers, 20 minutes. And I could have been a Marine in the US. The Marines.